to whistle this song as he cooks. Yes, as he's cooking, he likes to whistle this song. Amen.
And the reason I say that is because I remember one time about 2 years ago in the winter, and we were asked to talk about testimonies about our past week. And that week it has snowed like it did this past week, I think. And I remember the testimony Pastor Jaques gave. He says he's thanking God because during the week when it snowed, and he was thinking about how he's going to shovel his driveway, some little man came and asked for very good shovelings for a few bucks. And the pastor said, of course. And he was so happy that the little man did that. And it got me thinking that especially to young adults, we kind of tend to have two types of problems. Those that we thank God for and we leave to God, like big problems like illnesses, and the small ones which you think we can handle them. And it's not until things go wrong that we say, oh no, let's go back and pray to God about this one. And Pastor Jaques, he told me that from that testimony that God wants us to give him all our problems. Big ones, small ones, little ones, and thank him for all the blessings. Little blessings, big blessings, and all types of blessings. And the song we're going to sing is about God taking care of little things, therefore he'll take care of big things for us.
If God so loves the little birds, I know he loves me too. He loves me too, he loves me too, I know he loves me too. Because he loves the little things, I know he loves me too. He makes the lily of the fields, perfumes his lily bell. Also loves the little flowers, I know he loves me well. He loves me too, he loves me too, I know he loves me too. Because he loves the little things, I know he loves me too. God is a little bird that flies, all things large and small. He'll not forget his little ones, I know he loves them all. He loves me too, he loves me too, I know he loves me too. Because he loves the little thing, I know he loves me too. He loves me too, he loves me too, I know he loves me too. Because he loves the little things, I know he loves me too.
A theme that Pastor Jaques always likes to reiterate, and all of his messages are always about the love of God. So that was very fitting. Pastor Jaques, we cannot fully express our gratitude towards you, and we will continue to say thank you. But there's a couple people who actually want to say thank you personally and share some memories in regards to how you've touched their lives. So I will call up Abina Natalie, Brother Chris, Esther, and then Pastor Nambaka. If you guys can come to the front.
Okay, hi everybody. Sister Danny kind of said much of what I wanted to say. Actually, I had a lot on the paper, you said it. But in short, Pastor Jaques is a man of God. Amen. And to tell you, everybody's made in the image of God, right? And the fact that God created him and molded him in such a man, and the way that he preaches, you can tell he's a man of God. And he speaks with such passion, I must say. And when he preaches, it's not something that makes you want to sleep. It makes you feel like you want to listen to him more. And the way that he thirsts for the word of God is so interesting about him. I don't know much about Pastor Jaques, but I would say from the time I met him, he would not leave church without telling me or Sister Myrtle, hi. He has to come say hello to us. And the fact that he always checks upon his children makes it really good to know that he's like a father to us. And as you move on to higher grounds, you are not you are not leaving us. We will always remember you and what you have taught us. And we pray that God keeps you in the right path and that you will not stray from him and that you will continue to do his ministry. And you've done it for such a long time, which is good. And to see that you love the Lord. And yes, Sister Danny, yes, he is a family man. You can see that and you can tell because there's no way Pastor Jaques comes up here and does not mention his family. So it is good to see that he loves his family, he loves the Lord, he encourages each and every one of us. And this is something that we would hold in ourselves and, as you said, hold on to the Lord. So we are very thankful for the Lord bringing you here. And as you move on, don't forget us, for sure. And you, I must say, this is the first time I'm meeting your wife. You have a really beautiful wife, I must say. And yes, as Sister Danny said, he did preserve you for him. Amen. So thank you very much. And I am glad to meet you, and it's been a wonderful journey and experience. And as you journey along with the walk with God, keep focused, keep your head up high, because we're aiming to go to heaven to meet God. So thank you very much.
Amen. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Sabbath again. Well, I could say so much about Pastor and Sister Jaques, but I just wanted to say 4 things about them. Because Pastor Jaques and us, and me especially, go a long, long way. It's way before our church started here. When I first came to Canada, I came to Canada 2000, and I think I met Pastor Jaques when he joined Toronto East. That's where I used to go. If you don't know, Pastor Jaques, he's the one who dedicated Justin before this church started. Amen. So that's a long way. And you know, from the moment Sister Jaques saw Justin, she fell in love with him. Every Sabbath, she'll come to church and ask me, how's my boy, where's my boy? I have something for him. Until this day when she came, she wanted to see how big he is. She could not believe how big he is grown. Sister Jaques, she's just a wonderful person. She's not just a person, she's a person of friends. She inspires my heart. She's just been more than a sister, a friend. I can call her a friend, a sister, a mother, and everything. You know, during our wedding, we didn't even ask her what to do. We came here, we found Sister Jaques had come so early in the morning, she had decorated the church. Amen. We didn't even tell her. That was really touching, and I will never forget that. Sister Jaques, God bless you so much.
Thank you.
And on our wedding day, Pastor Jaques, before our wedding, I remember we were planning to have a small wedding. Pastor Jaques started counseling us, and he said, you know what, I have to tell my elders. And when the elders were told, they said, no, it's not going to be a small thing, we have to involve the church. So Pastor Jaques is the one who performed our wedding ceremony, and I thank you, Pastor. And we will continue saying, he keeps telling me, thank God you have a good husband, And I thank God, he prays for us, and I listen to his messages, how he loves his family, and that really inspires a lot of families. And so I really thank God for him. And the one other thing I'm just going to say is, I know many of you might not know, but Pastor Jaques, I know this was God ordained. I know God decided from when the world was formed and when Justin was going to be born that Pastor Jaques and Justin share a birthday. So every time, I will never forget it, because when Justin's birthday comes, I remember Pastor Jaques. God bless you. We really miss you. I personally will miss you. You've touched my life so much and the message today was just perfect for me to know that never forget where the Lord has brought you from, because I'll never forget where the Lord has brought me from. And so God bless you in your journey. And I know I was talking to Pastor Jaques last time, and he said he has a short time to retire. I pray that God will keep you. We don't meet on this earth, we'll meet in heaven.
Amen, amen, amen.
Hello. Sad to know that, Pastor, you are leaving, but nice to know you, Mama. Let me tell you, you are so classic. that one picture I saw, the first picture, where's that picture for the 1978 ministry? Where's that? Can you bring it? You see how classic you are. Abel. Yes, yeah. Yes. You see? Very nice. Very good. Right? For the 3 years I've been here, I haven't seen you. Today I was thinking to come and greet you, but I have a flu, so I said no. I have to let it that way, right? But I just want to say this. Pastor today was saying that he has been in this ministry for 37 years. I was thinking, when you began that ministry, my parents did not even know when I was existing, but it was just that time, right? But I just want to let you know, even in the Bible, there is nowhere in the Bible I've seen the apostles of Jesus Christ retiring, right? When we hear the others were killed, others died in Patmos, but we were not told they died in retirement. You may go in retirement in the form of paycheck, but in the God's work, we know that you will continue, right? But at the same time, I just want to let you know that in me, I have a lot of good memories about you. The first Sabbath I was here, you came to the lunch fellowship. We were 3 of us and with my brother. You told us a lot of things and you encouraged us, come again. And from there on, we came the next Sabbath, following Sabbath, until today, 3rd year we are here. Now, lastly, the verse I just want to leave with you is 1 Corinthians 15, 58. Alright? Therefore, my beloved brother, be steadfast and unmovable. Always do all you can for the Lord. Whatever you do for Him in this life is not just for now, but for eternity. God bless you. But at the same time, I know you did not go out of Canada. You are just our neighbor Jaques. Come again all the time.
Amen.
Thank you. And nice to have you as our pastor.
Thank you.
Good evening, brethren. And, good evening, Pastor Jaques.
Good evening.
Yes. I'm sorry you are going, but I don't know to pronounce your names very well. I've been to Montreal several times, but your name becomes hard still. But I see Adam trying to say very well. So Vaudreuil is Vaudreuil? Vaudreuil.
Yeah.
Vaudreuil Jaques. I don't want to meet you someday when I say I pronounce your name in a wrong way. However, I've not got it well. So, I don't know what I should say because I have known you for very few years. I wish many people who have known you can speak more than I can do, but I know you in two faces. So like the old blind people who are fighting that they have seen an elephant. One person touched the tail, and another one touched the skin, and another one touched the trunk, and the other one touched the big foot of an elephant. So they were fighting, saying, I am the one who know about the elephant. And the other one said, I know the elephant is a big stick. They said, no. The other one said, I know the elephant. The elephant is a big wall. So they were fighting, you know how they could say. And an old man came and found them fighting. They said, why are you fighting? The other blind said, because he's the one who is saying he saw the elephant, and I'm the one who went and touched the elephant. So the old man said, you are all correct, because an elephant, because you are blind, an elephant is a big animal which has a long tail like a cane, which has a big body skin, you know, like this. So you don't have to fight all of you. All of you are basically saying the truth. I'm not against all what other brethren have said. They have said the other face, which I know you. Yeah, I only know you from two faces. One face, which I know you, is you are very touched by people's problems. I remember when I needed a letter for taking to immigration, and you said you will get a letter the way you want it, and just go and tell Elder Adam to write. I will just come and sign. You don't have even to look at it, you just trust what Elder wrote and you just sign there. I remember when I took that letter, it was really nice when they saw your signature. I remember how your signature looked like, and it was so nice. Then I really saw that you are very compassionate, very compassionate. That's a very rare attribute which people, some pastors, they can dodge you and they can say, I cannot write. You know, he says, no, and finally they may not write. But you have been good enough to write, to put your signature, bend your signature there and say, I know this person. He's a very good man, very good person in the church with the regular standing. Then that really portrays how really you are very compassionate about those who are undergoing some strains in life, whose life has not been so good in Canada. That's how I know you, and some also could also mention as I've already mentioned. And another thing, Pastor, which in most sermons from the first day I heard you really remember friends. You really remember friends. You could sacrifice using your own car and fuel your car and drive all the way along through Oshawa and all the way along through Belleville and all the way along through Kingston, and you keep it all the way along to Montreal, and you see those old friends of yours. And when you come to us, you give us a story on how you visited a family in Montreal, which really inspires us that, Josiah, As you go to America, you can visit me back again. That shows that you can never lose a friend. And sometimes, you visited those families who, you mentioned one time you visited a wife who had lost a husband who was a very good friend of yours. And you spent that time with them in the home. Then I could really see how you really value friendship. Most of us, once we finish school, once we finish ministry, you get transferred to another place, the old book is closed. Most of us have new friends here. Jared, you have the friends whom you have here. We need to have old friends. That reminds me that I'm supposed to have to visit Elder Kutondo. Yes. Know that I should not only dwell up on the current friends alone, that I can also open the old diary and say, where should this man be? Where should this? I remember you could mention even your brother. You came with your brother from all the way from United States of America. And I remember he sat behind you there. That young elder brother who looks young like you. Yeah? And most people really don't go well with their brethren. So, I am going to pray that the Lord may, if you retire, because it's also good to retire, you may have, if you miss money, just call us. We will refund you, that you may keep your friends in focus. When they see you and say, I have come to visit you, they give you food, you share with them, and then you inspire them that our old friends have gone, now we are the one who are remaining. We can always visit each other and promise them that if they die, you will attend their funerals. And they will also assure you that if you pass away before they pass, they will also attend your funerals. So that is another kind of faith. I know sometimes when we talk about death, you say, oh, are you just saying about somebody's death? No, we know if God doesn't come soon, surely Jared, one day we will lay you down there. Are you scared about that?
No, 144,000.
Jared says he is not going to lay down, he can know 144,000. Yes. So, just by the way. So, Pastor, may God richly bless you wherever you go. You are not going very far. No. Sometimes we may have a couples weekend, couples from single weekend out. You will be sure to be invited and give us experiences and challenges that have motivated you over those mountains of years. 4 decades. Living together with your wife. Not easy as they sang in the morning. Not easy, but you are made it all the way along. So sometimes those couples meetings, I'm securing a ticket for Pastor Jaques to come to those meetings and give us hints on how he has made it. And maybe that time, write it down with his wife. Then they can give us nice lectures. Amen. Seconded or not seconded? God bless you, Pastor.
Thank you.
We shall not miss you. Your works is following you wherever you go. Amen. And we shall always be in touch with you. God bless you for the labor you have done for the Lord for over 40 years, almost 40 years now. And I believe the Lord is going to add you another 40 years now of seeing the fruits which you have really planted for those ages. But when thou shalt stand 90 years, then you shall say, Lord, now I don't want other 40 years. I want to rest in peace. Amen. But I don't want to say the bar is 90. I want to assume that sometimes when we reach 90, it becomes a burden to social workers, to care for you. Sunday dinner, I want to reach 85. From there, every morning I will say, Lord, allow me to rest. After 85. But if I die next month, or maybe after my children have finished school, or I will say, it will be nice for me. God bless you, Pastor Sheikh. It was nice to have you here. And we will say Jambo, Jambo, and wherever you go, don't forget to say Jambo.
Jambo.
Hello? It's not me. I have a message from my dad. He went to Atlanta to spend a few days with my mom, but he wanted to leave a message and say some words. So I will read what he wrote. Pastor Jaques, as a congregation, we welcomed you as our pastor some 10 years ago. I left for Alberta and came back after 6 years to find a strong and vibrant growing church, a testimony of your leadership. One thing that stands out in my experience is your redemptive spirit and approach. Each time we visited members together, I observed that you always encouraged and aimed to redeem people to Christ rather than condemn, following the spirit and example of Christ. As you pastor in the churches God has put under your care, may your ministry bring many to Christ and fill heaven with joy. And always remember you are welcome to fellowship with us. Let the Lord lead. Amen.
Thank you everybody for sharing your testimony. I just wanted to share some experiences I had. Pastor Jaques, I remember the first time I met you. That was in 2013 when I came to this church. I recently moved to Toronto and I was going to various churches to visit and was trying to find a home church. And I remember one thing that stuck out about you was the fact that you were very interested in people. And that I remember the first time you saw me, you asked me about my family, where I was from, and that's not something you commonly see that I've observed in pastors, so that really touched me. I remember the one thing was that you really encouraged me during my schooling, and that you really reiterated the importance of education, and you always encouraged me and let me know that I had the ability to finish school because God gave me the ability, and that it was not me out of myself, so I thank you for that. And this is the first time I'm meeting Mrs. Jaques, and when she came in this morning, I was prepared to welcome her with open arms, but instead she beat me to it and welcomed me with open arms. So I was just like looking around like, am I at the right church? Am I a visitor today? Because that's what I felt like. So I thank you for that. And I had to go to Pastor this morning and I was like, Pastor, shake my hand because you made a good choice with this lady. You really did. And he reminded me that it was God that made that choice for him. So we praise God that he's always giving the glory back to God. Is there anybody else that would like to share some words? Okay, Douglas, if you want.
Hello, Happy Sabbath Church. God is good. It would not be fair for me, no, actually for Pastor, but also for me if I would not say something. I met Pastor Jaques when we came from Kenya, and as everyone has said, he's very welcoming and very interested in me. And of course, he would ask me, Douglas, get involved, what's going on? And I remember I would tell him, Pastor, I'm involved in soccer, Pastor. So every time he would see me, he would say, I know this soccer business that you're doing, but I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. And I'm grateful that God gave me the opportunity to be rebaptized, and Pastor was the one who did it when after all I washed my hand. I said, God, I'm done with that. I want to serve you full time. So I thank you, God, and also for your prayers, for everything. My testimony is about Mrs. Pastor Jaques. I'm grateful for the fact that they have been our parents, some of us here in advising and guiding us. And when I was planning to, please allow me to share, when I was planning to fly back home for my wedding, my PR card had expired, and I had made an application to get it, to get it renewed, yes. And it did not come in time, so I did not have my PR card in time. The day I was supposed to go pick it up, it was not ready, so I went to the St. Clair office to see if there's anything that they could do to hurry it up so I could get it. I had already gotten a ticket. I had already postponed my wedding because of an incident that had happened with my passport. So I was not going to postpone again. My wife would be like, this guy is not serious. Eh? So I was determined. And I go to the St. Clair office, immigration office, and voila. I see Mrs. Jaques there, and she they say next, go to this boat. So I go there, and there she is. I'm like, oh, thank God. So I explained to her what happened. She's like, oh, it's okay, don't worry. So it's amazing. God bless you so much. Because if you understand how much problems the embassy in Kenya gave me. So what, in short, what Mrs. Jaques did, she went on the computer and she put my information there that, yes, I understand, her first was lost, and everything. So I don't know what you wrote. But when I went back home with the instruction that you gave me to go to the embassy, as soon as I get it, go to the embassy and explain myself that, yes, I'm in Kenya, but I don't have my PR card when I'm ready to go back. So when I went there, they were like, how sure are you? Do you live there? And they treated me like I'm lying. And they took me to a room, and like this immigration officer was going back and forth trying to tell me, where do you work? Who do you work for? How long have you been there? Like, can you tell me the streets of Toronto and everything? Trying to just question to make sure that it's me. And then after that, like another lady came in and she was like, it's okay, like we saw the computer. I don't know whether it's because of what you wrote that I was able to travel back and forth. But it's just to show how much Pastor Jaques and his family go to assist and to help church members. And some of us have grown from the time Pastor Jaques used to tell me, Douglas, this is your church. You need to come here often. You need to make this your church. You need to come here often. You need to get involved. And I thank you for all the prayers. And God bless you so much. Even when I got a baby, you still called me. And say, Douglas, I'm calling you, check on you, congratulations. And I'm really grateful. And I hope that, I know it's time for you to move to another church as you plan to retire. But let us continue to pray for each other, visit each other. And most importantly, let us strive, for we are much closer than when we first began. God bless you.
I'm just going to call Sister Claire also to give a testimony as well.
Good afternoon, church. Good evening. I first met Pastor Jaques and Sister Gladys 4 years ago when we came to Canada. We had actually been about 2 weeks old in the country when we met him. We had problems finding accommodation in Canada. It was really hard, so we stayed in a hotel for a long time. Nobody could rent us a house because we didn't have a job and we didn't know anybody here. So I remember I'm not going to mention churches, but we went to a church where one pastor asked, an email, but the reply was that, didn't you think about it before coming to Canada? And then another place we went, nobody knows we were there up to now. But when we came to this church, right in the parking lot, that's where we met Pastor Jaques and Sister Gladys. I don't know if you remember that. But you were the first people we met out there, and then we met everybody. We just felt so welcome in this church. And then when we finally got a place to rent, Guess who our first visitor was? And it was Pastor Jaques. We will never forget that we were in a foreign land, far from our country, far from our friends, far from our family members, but we had our first visitor, a minister of the Lord. It was a blessing, and we will never forget that. The other thing is, before I married my husband, I was trying to get him baptized. It was very hard. It was very hard. We traveled to US and continued praying to God and submitted prayer requests to several pastors and even got visits. But anyway, nobody got through to him. But thank God when we got here, I don't know what happened. I'm glad to say that my husband was baptized by you. And then later on, you baptized my son. So thank you very much. May God bless you. You've been a blessing to our family. And we can just wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Sister Claire. And our last testimony will be from Sister Esther.
Happy Sabbath. Give you the wisdom that you have been having since you started pastoring. So Pastor has been reaching out so many people. First of all, in my family, Pastor's been to my family. Thank you so much. Has done so much in my family. Pastor baptized my children when they came to this country. They were still young. Rhoda being 8 years old when she was baptized, and she came to Pastor. She said to Pastor, Pastor, I want to be baptized. Pastor said, yes, I'm not letting you go, you get baptized. So Rhoda was baptized at the age of 8. So thank you so much, Pastor. I remember that when we went to Sister Janet, the late Sister Janet, to take the whole communion, Pastor and I, we went all the way to Sister Janet to give her the whole communion. So he's a very committed man of God. He's trying to reach out to everybody. So we pray that you continue with this spirit of serving God, and we also pray for you with your family, and please don't forget us. So you always belong to this church. Thank you so much.